This is Mesar for the Medical Sales Channel. I love asking medical sales reps about ROI. ROI? What's that? Oh yeah, I know, sure. I always talk ROI with my healthcare customers. Of course you do. With some of the sales pitches I've seen, ROI might stand for any of the following: reducing one's intelligence, referencing outdated information, repetitive ongoing interruptions, reduced observational insight, really outrageous and illegal, radically obscure intellect, reps' outlandish ideas. Sorry I got carried away, but I was having too much fun. That's not what this is about. ROI, of course, means return on investment. No one buys anything unless the return, in other words, the results or outcome, justifies the expense. Why do people buy? ROI. It's pretty intuitive, right? No one in healthcare buys because they like to shop, right? In fact, those whose job it is to do the shopping sometimes act more like purchasing preventers than procurement officers. Clearly, these buyers haven't found the joy shopping for new healthcare products and services. You must help them to find it. In the age of affordable care, value-based purchasing, and ever-shifting incentives and penalties, no buyer considers spending precious budget on anything that doesn't deliver ROI. So why aren't sales reps talking about it? I think a big part of the reason is because sales reps assume that ROI is obvious. I mean, if you say, it saves time, any fool knows that time is money, right? Only if the customer thinks so, and only if the customer sees a need to save money on whatever you're talking about. Allison, one of the medical sales reps I coached, couldn't understand why she wasn't closing more deals with doctors' offices. She sold a laboratory device that allowed doctors to perform a blood test in the office that until now required sending samples out to a lab. What doctor wouldn't want instantaneous results? Allison was finding that the answer to that question was most. I mean, I asked her to run through her sales conversation with me. Of course, she prefaced it with, I'm better when I'm in front of real customers. I'm not very good at role play. I told her not to worry, as I thought to myself, of course. Every sales rep performs better when they're in the pressure cooker environment of a healthcare provider and realizing that their ability to pay their mortgage is on the line with an intimidating, overeducated prospect with a God complex who really doesn't want to be wasting time with salespeople. My experience tells me otherwise, but at this point, I was listening for ROI, not evaluating sales presentation skills. She ran through the features of the device rapidly, reciting things that sounded pretty mundane, such as it has FDA approval and calibration can be checked by your medical assistant. Gee, how exciting. I wondered for a nanosecond if any doctors woke up in the middle of the night worrying about the diminishing returns they were experiencing due to their medical assistant's lack of equipment to calibrate. Then I jumped in. Allison, you're asking doctors in your territory to invest $12,000 for this device. What ROI will they receive? Allison didn't hesitate. They get their lab results immediately. They don't have to wait to hear back from the lab. So what's that worth to them? Allison, sounding even more animated, answered, a lot. They don't have to wait. Their patients don't have to wait. They can get the results and treat patients right away. ROI can be viewed qualitatively or quantitatively. I was looking for a quantitative answer. I got to the point. Allison, how much money are they going to make or save by using your product? Silence. She didn't have a clue. Bad thing. I asked Allison to talk to some of the doctors who didn't buy and find out why. When she got back to me, she was shocked by what she learned. Two of the doctors she spoke with confirmed their perception of the device's ROI. It was actually a negative ROI. Allison learned that the reimbursement for the test barely compensated the time needed to have a medical assistant draw the blood and run the test. But the doctors were even more concerned that getting immediate results eliminated an office visit, which translates to lost revenue. The delay associated with sending the sample to the lab meant patients needed to schedule another appointment so the doctor could go over the results and provide treatment. That's revenue from an additional office visit that Allison's device eliminated. I advised Allison to find some doctors who were using the device to determine how it positively impacted their practice. After spending a day with one of her sales rep colleagues, Allison had the answer. The fee-for-service doctors who used the device brought patients into the office for 2 additional appointments within a 30-day period. They thought it improved the standard of care, plus it was convenient for the patient because they didn't have to go to the doctor, go to the lab, go to the doctor, and repeat the process multiple times. She also learned something else. These doctors picked up new patients as existing patients spread the word of eliminating the need for a trip to the lab. One of the doctors shared that overall, the device produced an additional $2,000 to $3,000 in his office each month through additional visits with both new and existing patients. And it did this while allowing him to provide rapid and more convenient care. She also discovered that doctors who provided managed care, where they are reimbursed a set fee per patient over time, capitation, liked the efficiency of testing and treating in one visit. It saved them from multiple visits with patients for which they received no additional compensation. Allison now had 2 ROI arguments, one for doctors who were fee-for-service and one for those who provided managed care. One ROI does not fit all. Allison and I devoted several coaching sessions to articulating her ROI presentation. Her closing ratio spiked from about 0 to just over 20% in the first 2 months through her ability to articulate the main reason people buy, ROI. She also learned to deliver the right ROI to the right market segment. How good are you at articulating the ROI for your product or service? If you want the answer, take a look at your sales numbers. If they need improvement, chances are, so does your ROI argument. Before you make another sales call, check your qualitative and quantitative ROI. To identify your qualitative ROI, ask yourself these questions. Does your product offer convenience, reduce risk, make the office or clinic more efficient, generate referrals, reduce stress for patients and providers, modernize the customer's practice in a promotable way? To assess for a quantitative ROI, ask if your product allows the doctor or clinic to see more patients within the same amount of time. How many more? Does it save money? How much? Does it bring in additional revenue? How much? Does it improve patient satisfaction scores? By how much? Does it reduce readmissions, reduce complications? By how much? I think you get the picture. ROI is why people buy. So how do you, your company, and your product or service provide ROI? Articulate the right ROI to the right market segment, and your ROI will be more sales. If you need some help articulating your ROI, please let me help. What would it be worth to you if I could help you close 20% more sales each month? That could be your ROI. Why don't you call me and find out how at 561-333-8080 or visit medicalsalestraining.com. Thanks for visiting. I hope you get some ROI here, folks. For the Medical Sales Channel, I'm Mace Haroff. I'll talk to you soon.